Alexander Nunez reporting from the Challenger Center for Space Science Education in Alexandria, Virginia. On March 18, 2008, NASA astronaut Scott Parazynski gave an exclusive interview to Challenger Center for Space Science Education's founding chairman, Dr. June Scobie-Rogers. This vodcast is part of an exciting new series of Challenger Center interviews with NASA astronauts and other acclaimed scientists and explorers. The goal of the new series is to introduce important role models to children and those young at heart. This interview is also available as a podcast on the Challenger Center website, www.challenger.org. And now for the third and final segment of the exclusive interview with Scott Parazynski.
We have a section in our podcast about the 6 pillars of character, and I have a few questions to ask you about that, if you would share with us. First of all, as a child, you must have had a particularly good best friend. Do you remember a best friend, why that person was?
I had a lot of really strong friendships as a young guy. I mentioned a couple of my buddies, John and Russ, that were my elementary school buddies. Our friendship was just an interest to explore, and they were very energetic, fun-loving guys, but also had good character. They weren't. I guess we got into a little trouble, but I think also comes down to family. And I had good role models in my own family as they did, and so we looked after each other.
Could you tell us about a best friend?
Any best friend, or?
Yes, tell us about a best friend.
Okay, well, I actually, probably my best these days is a guy named Don Clark, and he and I were the same freshman dorm in college, and so we've stayed close through all those years. Since I'm pretty old right now, that's actually most of my life. But the shared interests of hiking and climbing, but also common family values. And so he was the best man at my wedding, and I was in his wedding. And so our families have grown up, and on occasion we share family vacations and things like that together.
I wanted to ask you a question about respect. Is there a person in your life, memories somewhere that you could tell us is a person that you respect the most?
Sure, there'd probably be several people that fall in this category, but I'll tell you one because he's one of the people that I believe you're interviewing, and that would be John Glenn. I had the real privilege and honor of him on my third mission, STS-95, back in, I guess that was 1997. And the things that really struck me about John, he's, of course, a true international hero, the first American to orbit the Earth, United States Senator for many years, did so many wonderful things for our country. And when he came on our crew, the first thing he said to us was that, I'm not Senator Glenn, I'm just John, or Payload Specialist number 2. And he wouldn't answer us if we called him Senator. So just that kind of character. Another little example of the kind of person that he is. I remember going to the cave on a number of occasions and going out to dinner in the community. And, of course, everybody knows who John Glenn is. And, of course, at that time in Florida, I heard that he was about to go fly. And so in a restaurant, people would line up, everyone in the restaurant and their kids would be in line to shake his hand, take their picture with him, get his autograph. And he would stay until every last one of them had their time. And that's a strong character to do all of that on many levels. It can be very tiring, but he never once complained. And he would, if people are interested enough to stand in line to shake my hand, then I owe it to them to do so.
God, I think that's possibly why so many admire you as well for your person, and that's a quality that we all admire. The next question is, if you would like, has there been a particularly difficult decision that you've had to make in life, just the hardest that you can think of, and how did you go about it?
Well, I guess all of us have challenges in our lives. No one has the perfect life. I've certainly faced some adversity in my life. I guess the thing that it's not so much a decision as something that I've had to come to terms with as a parent, and try and do the best I can with the situation. But our daughter Jenna is autistic, and so that's a very significant illness that children and grown-ups, for that matter, with this condition have a difficult time expressing this, and sometimes with behavior and speech. Jenna is a beautiful little girl, but she has her challenges. She's very bright in certain regards, but it's changed the way we approach all of our families, where we live, what schools we send our kids to, and it takes a lot of extra effort to make sure that we have the right environment for Jenna so that she'll get as far as she can get. So I don't know if that answered your question or not.
Yes, most definitely, Scott. You are known in the astronaut corps as a very caring person. You are kind to everyone that you meet, and you're humble and modest in so many different ways. So a great trait in a person to admire. And just following on those questions, there are charities that you support in ways that you share your time and concern for, and make preparations to. Would you share with us who those groups are?
Absolutely. Well, of course, the Challenger Center is near and dear to my heart, and as I go to the summit of Everest, on my down suit, I will proudly wear the center logo, and I'll certainly bring back lots of great photos for you. I also will have with me some other special things related to an organization, but to honor fallen astronauts and cosmonauts. So I have a couple of Tibetan prayer flags that honor the Apollo 1, Challenger, and Columbia crews, as well as the Soyuz 1 and Soyuz 11 cosmonauts that I'll leave on the summit. And you may know the tradition of these prayer flags, but the idea is that you take them to various places, ideally to the summit of Everest, and the wind and weather over the weeks and months and years take the flags and lifts them aloft, and they slowly disintegrate, but the messages are carried upward. So I'm very happy to be able to take those with me. And then I also have a patch on my down suit that raises awareness for autism, because that's near and dear to my heart, my family. And finally, I will have with me another little prayer flag for an organization called Purple Songs Can Fly, and it's associated with the Texas Children's Hospital Cancer Center. But essentially, what they enable children battling cancer to try and put aside the discomfort and anxiety associated with their treatments, and make music. And so they write songs, they sing them, and they're really incredibly good. And they mean a lot to the cancer patients at the Children's Hospital, and certainly they touch the lives of everyone who is associated with it. So those are the special organizations that will be on my mind as I climb up.
We appreciate so much considering Challenger Center patches. I know that how heavy things get as you ascend the mountain. So we don't burden you with anything really heavy, but do go up there and return safely, and we'll look forward to a conversation with you return, Scott. It's been such an honor talking with you that you would even take the time before this busy experience to share your story, and I admire you dearly, and even more now, having heard these wonderful presentations for children to hear.
It was a thrill for me, and I can't wait to get back and share my stories with you and the folks at the Challenger Center, and I wish you continued success.